Ever wondered why we still believe in superstitions, even in the modern world? Superstitions are everywhere, from knocking on wood to avoiding black cats. They're so deeply ingrained in our cultures that we often don't even realize we're acting on them. But have you ever stopped to think about why we believe in these superstitions in the first place, and how they shape our beliefs and behaviors in ways we don't even realize? But on the other hand, they can have a profound impact on our decision-making, often without us even realizing it. For example, many people refuse to fly on Fridays the 13th, or won't take a particular route because it's unlucky. It's almost as if our brains are wired to seek out patterns and meanings even when there aren't any. Superstitions can also be a major influence on our social behaviors. Think about it. How many times have you avoided doing something because someone told you it was bad luck? Or, conversely, how many times have you done something because someone told you it would bring you good luck? These small actions might seem insignificant on their own, but when you multiply them across an entire society, they can have a profound impact on our shared cultural values. One reason is that they often tap into our deepest fears and anxieties. For example, the superstition about breaking mirrors comes from the ancient Romans, who believed that the soul was reflected in the mirror. If you broke the mirror, you were breaking your own soul. It's no wonder we still believe in this superstition today. It speaks to our deep-seated fear of loss and death. Moving on, let's explore some well-known superstitions and their historical origins. One of the most famous is probably the superstition about black cats. In ancient Egypt, black cats were revered as symbols of the goddess Bastet, who protected the pharaohs. But in medieval Europe, they were seen as the devil's familiars, and were often persecuted. Today, we still see black cats as symbols of bad luck. But why? One reason might be that humans have an innate fear of the unknown, and black cats are often seen as mysterious and elusive. Another superstition that's fascinated me is the one about walking under ladders. This one dates back to the Middle Ages when people believed that the ladder leaning against a wall formed a triangle symbolizing the Holy Trinity. If you walked under it, you were symbolically rejecting the Trinity and inviting disaster into your life. Today we still avoid walking under ladders, but probably without realizing why. The superstition about the number 13 is another one that's steeped in history. In Norse mythology, the god Odin was said to have invited 12 gods to a feast, but a 13th god, Loki, crashed the party, causing chaos and destruction. From then on, the number 13 was seen as unlucky. Today, many buildings skip the 13th floor and many people avoid doing business on Fridays the 13th. A more surprising superstition is the one about carrying an acorn. In ancient Britain, acorns were seen as symbols of good luck and fertility. If you carried one with you, you were guaranteed a safe and successful journey. Today, we might not carry acorns around anymore, but we still see them as symbols of good fortune and often display them in our homes and offices. But here's a surprising insight. Some superstitions are actually rooted in logic or scientific explanations. For example, the superstition about not opening an umbrella indoors might seem irrational, but it actually dates back to the days when umbrellas were made of metal and could be quite dangerous if opened suddenly indoors. Today, we still observe this superstition, even though our umbrellas are much safer. In fact, many superstitions have a grain of truth to them. The superstition about cracking your knuckles, for example, is often seen as a myth, but research has shown that repeatedly cracking your knuckles can actually lead to joint pain and arthritis. So, maybe our ancestors were onto something when they told us not to crack our knuckles. As we've seen, superstitions are complex and multifaceted, influenced by a mix of historical, cultural, and psychological factors. But what's the takeaway from all of this? For one, it's clear that superstitions have a profound impact on our everyday lives, shaping our beliefs and behaviors in ways we don't even realize. If you've got a superstition you'd like to share, please let me know in the comments below.